Welcome, everyone. Noah here on the Dynamics Weekly newsletter and podcast. For the next month or so, I am interviewing class and session presenters for Community Summit, which is scheduled for October 19th through the 23rd in Orlando, Florida, and hosted by Dynamic Communities. And today, on our 48th interview, it's amazing how many of these have flown by in these recorded interviews. We have Giuseppe Ianni with us. Giuseppe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Noah. Yeah.
Yeah, glad you could join us. I am dialing in from Florida, so not near Orlando. I'm in Pensacola, northwest part of the state, and I think you're way up north.
I am. I'm just actually outside of Ann Arbor in Michigan, although I'm catching a flight in about an hour to head down to Nashville for one of our road shows at Dynamic Communities that we put on. So yeah, moving around
Awesome.
today.
Nashville's a great city. You'll love it down there.
Yep.
So you are VP, Community Director at Dynamic Communities, and you've been there for, is it almost a year now?
Going on a year, yeah. We were doing stuff last year at Community Summit actually in person, which was nice. And I also wanted to give you a shout out. You're slowly closing in on the 600 plus sessions. So if you hit them all, you're going to get there soon in terms of these podcasts. So you're knocking them out.
They are, I mean, there's so many of them. You guys have organized a lot of speakers, and they're flying in from all over the world to do these presentations. It's awesome to see so many people coming together, sharing their knowledge, their experiences, talking about these products, and networking is a huge part of it as well. So
Yeah.
kudos to you and your whole team for helping pull all this together.
Yeah, thank you. And I would note too, as you prepare and those listening in on this, one of the best things that we've seen working really, really well for those attending or interested in coming to the event is under the agenda area of the website. You can come to the session list and you can really quickly filter by your goals as an attendee at this event. And I know we're going to get into talking about the session here in a minute that I'm going to be doing in particular, but you can actually look and actually build objectives. You can focus it on tracks, like if you're focused on, operations side of the house, manufacturing. If you have a product you're there for, maybe you're running Business Central, you can quickly get down and narrow that 600 plus list of sessions down to the ones that are really relevant for you as a user. So I always like to do that call out whenever I'm speaking with people because it makes it a much more consumable event when you have strong filters behind the scenes to get you to the right sessions.
They are great. That page for all the sessions and all the speakers, those are great ways to narrow down your search. So that really helpful, and a big tip for everybody. If you're going to Summit, don't wait until you get there to figure out what you want to go see. Figure out ahead of time, because once you get there, there's so many options, you'll never figure it out in time. So do it ahead of time. And Giuseppe, are you handling any of the Academy stuff as well?
I'll be present that day. Actually, I'll probably be a part of we're doing a GP. We just announced this past week, actually. We're doing a GP to BC pre-con day. So we're actually going to be doing a dedicated event that day while Academy sessions are going on. And I know there's a whole bunch of them. There's also going to be a day where we're driving business GP users that are currently on GP to kind of guide them forward on a path and show them what the options are that day. And I'll be inside of that, though I'll be inside of the event all day and present on premise that day.
Okay. And for everybody looking for the Summit sessions versus the Academy classes, they are using the same website, SummitNA.com, but there are separate registrations. So you have registration page for Summit, which gets you access to everything during the week for all the sessions, Expo Hall, and everything that goes with it during the week there. But if you want to go to a classroom training environment that's hosted by Academy, those are on that same website, just a different page. You'll have the same options to filter out which classes you want to go to. They have classes that even start the week before Summit. Most of them are the Saturday and Sunday before Summit. Some of them are the week before, and there's a couple, I think, that are after Summit as well. But
Yep.
a lot of options.
Hmm.
And for people who, we do online training all the time, but the classroom environments, which we used to do, over 10 years ago, classroom training all the time. Now it's a different environment now. But there's a lot of people who really enjoy sitting down in a classroom with the instructor in front of them, with the same people around them working on the same exercise at the same time. So there's a lot to be said for the classroom environments.
Yeah. Classroom environments are nice too. Most of them are full day too. There's some that are half, but a lot of them are full day. So it's very immersive, right? As opposed to just kind of picking at a topic, you deep dive on a topic. Get a lot of good feedback coming out of that, based on the investment people make in their time there.
And you have a session that you are handling on Monday afternoon, the 20th of October. It starts at 1:30. The title of it, From B2B to DTC, Strategies for Scaling E-commerce in a Rapidly Evolving Market. So this is a panel, a roundtable. I didn't see anybody else listed though yet. Maybe you have some more people you've invited.
I do. Yeah, I have a couple guest speakers. This will be more of a panel format. So I actually have a couple a leader from each of these organizations, both Amla Commerce, Big Commerce, Commerce Build, Dynamic Web, and k-ecommerce. We'll have leaders from each of those organizations present. I'll be kind of guiding them through with a handful of questions, having them speak to their experience on what's going on in this area of the world, how things are changing, what they're doing as an organization to keep up and keep track with that. So the audience can expect to really be hearing from industry experts that are leading the charge. And each of these guys obviously have their own platforms and technology in this spaces and have been around for quite some time, but they'll be kind of giving their perspective on what to look out for, what to plan for, and how to prepare.
Awesome. And it's 1:30 and it's a little bit over an hour. It's about an hour and 15 minutes for that panel discussion. It's tagged under tracks for commerce, manufacturing, development, and architecture. So easy to sort by those things, or the title there to find that in the list of summit sessions. And those roundtables, they are usually pretty active. People spot those before they get there. They come with questions for you, so they're pretty interactive with the audience there.
Yeah, I think they're always one of my favorite formats. Even a panel roundtable, right? I think as you look at that kind of structure strategy, you get some audience involvement typically too with it, which is really nice because you can kind of hear what people are struggling with. And sometimes, you get broadcasting sessions, sometimes you get more interactive sessions. What I think a lot of people like about Summit, as well as you kind of alluded to, is you have Academy, you have these sessions, you have a show floor. What you also have are tech medic desk, and I don't know if you've covered this in any of your podcasts yet, but we have these tech medic desks where we have close to 100 MVPs that are present and volunteer their time and education at these desks. So you can actually bring topics to the show, go to these tech medic desks, and they have a Business Central, a CE, an FNO, a GP, a Copilot, a Power Platform one, and really talk to experts in these fields that are just here to answer or resolve your questions, something that you might otherwise have to call your partner for, sit on a call, send emails over. Here, you just bring all your problems with you, maybe from different departments, come to the desk, and they can help you with it.
Yep, I've had a few people who have signed up and will be working those desks for different times throughout the week. And the venue, the resort is a very large area, but they're segmented between like the different ERPs mainly, I believe, and then Power Platform. They have different sections, so the medic desk will be scattered accordingly. I'm sure.
Yep, correct.
And as always, Dynamic Communities will have their booth in the expo hall. You'll be working there.
Yep, I will be in and about the show all week myself. We have our booth. We'll have two lounges on the show floor, one on the east and west side of the event itself, that we'll be participating in. Otherwise, we'll have some keynote stage time. I'll be running Legends Monday night, where we actually award this year's community legends that are being voted on here in the next couple of weeks. So each year we give back to the community by highlighting those that have invested a lot of time, effort, energy, both from a peer level or from a community level. And I'll be doing that on the stage inside of the expo hall.
So for the two booths for Dynamic Communities in the expo hall, east and west, people may not be familiar with which is which for the expo hall floor plan, but they will know which ones are close to the puppies and which one is close to the pickleball courts.
Yep, you got it.
Will you be at both of those, or just one of them?
I mean, I'll probably be running between all of them, actually. Yeah, I mean, the pickleball, I might spend a bunch of time at the arcade as well. The arcade's probably going to be a big hit for those who have seen the announcement about the arcade as well, or the axe throwing. I think all end up being fan favorites. I think the puppy launch was a great one. People really grasp onto. we're hoping to see the same as we include more of these activities or engagements across the show floor at Community Summit. As an organization, we recognize the need not only for heavy education, but also for some downtime and to be able to interact at these events and create a really memorable experience. And that's why we're kind of evolving the show floor itself.
So for a lot of people in the networking and the questions that they have for these sessions, do you have a preferred method for them to contact you and the other people that are going to be in your roundtable panel?
I would say just reach out. I mean, either catch us while we're directly there, or if you feel free to send an email over. I think most of the people on the panel already have a login to the Dynamic Communities website. You can always network with people there as well, right inside of the website.
Okay.
Yep.
And a question about the mobile app. I was looking for that. I've got the app installed on my phone here, but I haven't found the Dynamic Community Summit listed yet. Is that available now or coming out soon?
There will be I believe there's a new app. There'll be an announcement about it. There's a few new things coming from Dynamic Communities that we're going to be announcing for the show. So that one in particular, I'll have to get some more information. I can push it back to you, and maybe you can do an update on this to the community overall on it. But yeah, there is a new app that was launched out that we're going to be using that's a little bit more interactive that provides long-term engagement coming out of the event. Usually a lot of these apps stay alive for a period of time. This one is a much more long-term type app that can continue to run. That way you can continue to network.
That's awesome. And now that we're getting closer and closer to October, you'll have more and more of these announcements coming out. What's the best way for people to stay on top of these announcements? Are they coming through the website, SummitNA.com, that people should monitor that? Or is Dynamic Communities pushing these out via emails?
You'll see a lot of the announcements right on the Community Summit website itself. You'll also see some coming out from the Dynamic Communities website, but most of them right now from Community Summit or SummitNA.com, as you noted, they'll be there. We have maybe one or two more other announcements that'll be coming between now and launch that people can kind of stay tuned for.
Okay. And you got any numbers count from attendees so far?
I know the number counts up year over year is what we're kind of forecasting at this point right now. So we've seen considerable growth, part of that being behind our ABM outreach inside of the organization. We're doing some unique things with partners too, trying to create more experiences with the new VIP program that we introduced to all of our sponsors this year at Community Summit. So yeah, we're excited to have an even bigger event than last year. Again, a lot of the registration for events like this happen over the last 60 days. That's just how people buy and purchase and get on board with events as much as you'd like them to do it sooner. But you really see half of them, in the 6 months prior and then half in the 2 months prior.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I know you are getting ready for a flight in a little bit. I hope you're already packed for it. So
Yep.
Nashville is waiting.
Mhm.
And do you have anything else that maybe we can announce for upcoming summit stuff?
Upcoming summit stuff. No, I think the only thing I'd like to highlight in these type of calls is the type of users at the event. As you look at an event like Community Summit, and I'm sure you have a wide range of audience kind of listening, we're pulling in, I would say, the creators, as we would label them. We talk about 4 points of light here at Dynamic Communities as it revolves around Community Summit. You have four types of people that come. You have your creators, which is really the Microsoft engineers and product people who are coming to Community Summit to deliver roadmaps and talk a little bit more about the future and what's coming at the Microsoft level. You have its sellers, right? You have partners, SIs, you have ISVs that are present who are coming to really deliver the message of their technology that they built on top of the creators' technology. They're also here to network with users. They're here bringing their buyers, and they're socializing throughout the event amongst one another as well as the creators. You have buyers themselves. You see a lot of buyers. About 10% of the audience at Community Summit is people looking to make an investment in the BizApps stack, which is very interesting because, again, people can go online, they can do their research. They're coming to Community Summit inevitably to vet that research, to talk with the right partners, to find systems or applications that will solve gaps in their current stack. and they come to do that at Community Summit. And then you have the largest group of people in the audience, which is the users, which I think makes sense, right? You have a couple 100,000 users that run biz apps across the globe. A lot of those guys come to this to get further education, to optimize their stack, to figure out how to migrate off application X to Y, or to just look at new investments that they can make and how to get better at what they're currently using to remove any of that legacy debt. So a pretty diverse group of users. I think all are really critical to be a part of a successful event. And again, as people plan to come, plan not only for sessions, but also time to network with those four kind of buckets of users, and ensure that you're getting the most out of your event based on what bucket you fall into.
Great points there. The education piece, a huge part of these conferences, networking, and probably an equal great part of these conferences. So it's always great when people can go to these conferences and meet people that they've met before, meet new people, associate a real person's face with an email account or a LinkedIn profile. So it's always great to have that real world connection.
Yep. Yeah, and as you talk about that, audience numbers from our end always show you see almost half the audience at Summit each year is new, right? So they weren't there the prior year, they're here this year, they're here evaluating, meeting new people. So you do see not only a lot of faces you know, but also a lot of new ones.
Mhm. Well, hey, Giuseppe, thank you for joining me today. It's been a pleasure talking about Summit. I know that you have a flight for Nashville, so you'll see a lot of Summit people. I guess the people you're going to in Nashville will be going to Summit as well, maybe.
You know, we see a lot of overlap between people that attend our roadshows and people that attend Community Summit. I would say 85% at a minimum
Yep.
go to both. So yeah, they're there just for that regular learning, which is nice about these one-day kind of events we stand up across the country, which are our roadshows.
Great. Well, enjoy the trip, and I will be down in Orlando in October, so looking forward to meeting you in person. And I encourage anybody else who's going to go to Summit, reach out, introduce yourself, say hello. It's always great to network with new people. So, Giuseppe, thank you so much, and have a safe flight to Nashville. We'll see you in Orlando.
See everybody then. Thanks, Noah.